So Alan, you have a new book coming out in June, published by Feigen Press, called The Art of Looking Sideways. What does this extraordinary book consist of?
First of all, let's talk about, I'll try and explain what the book is about. To begin with, it's very thick. Can you see that? Thick, so quite heavy actually. And it's over 1,000 pages long. I forget exactly, it's 1,080 I think. So it's quite a thick book. And partially in answer to your question what it's about, I thought this would be the sort of question that a lot of people might ask in a bookshop. So I've tried to treat the jacket of the book in a sense like an answer to your question. So the book is about all these kind of things I've written on the jacket. So for example, it's the art of looking sideways, so you have to read it sideways. It's a book comprised of different spreads about different subjects, which and many of the subjects appear at first glance to be totally unrelated. And it's all been stuck together like that, also from all these things people have said over the ages. So it's a cross between a collage and a box of goodies. Now, seeing is certainly one of the things that the book is about, because it's probably, well, I think it's most important of the five senses. And we actually think in pictures, we don't think in words. Do you look down on someone? Do you look up to somebody? Is there more in this than meets the eye? Do you have a good eye, a sharp eye? Do you have a mind's eye? Right? Do you ever get a look in? The whole language is permeated with seeing words. Another thing is words and pictures, because words are the most common symbol in the language. Well, little letters are symbols, but words are the most common symbol in the whole language, and we live on or by symbols. Now, the book is full of these things I've collected, which other people have written, one-liners, dictums, maxims, whatever it happens to be, extracts I've taken that other people have written, and I've reassembled them into a sort of collage, and sort of discovered various things for myself. This is a quote by Emile Zola about living out loud, which is also what the book is about. So the typography tries to express the sentiment behind the quote. Then there's another whole area, for example, there are little private games in here, but there are things to make one think twice. You look at it and the apparatus in your head kind of says, oh, those two are standing out and that one's concave, so that's registered, that's how it is. So when you turn it upside down, it changes that perception, because as you said, the light is at the bottom of one and the top of the other, and therefore you get slightly confused, and it's just a perceptual. So apart from things other people have written and said, which I've borrowed from the book, I also use a lot of visual material produced by other people, or stuff which exists. For example, there's a friend of mine, Italian friend, is some pebbles here. He collected these on the beach, and it's the alphabet. You see A, and you get different letters. M, N, O, P. So created this alphabet of pebbles he collected on the beach. It's a matter of looking around, not just being blinkered, and seeing various possibilities. Another one, which I rather like, is by another friend. He's a political cartoonist for the Times, Peter Brooks. And is this a cat or is this a mouse? It's a paradox, because it could be either one or the other, but it can't be both at the same time. And the book has a lot of these sort of visual challenges. In fact, you could answer this one for me, Alex. Is a zebra a black animal with white stripes, or a white animal with black stripes? So, the book is full of these little entertainments, if you like. But they're not entertainments for the sake of it, they're to make a point. I'd just like to talk about how I constructed this book, which is on the wall here behind me. And there's the whole book laid out in thumbnail sketches, which is the miracle of the Macintosh, that you can do that. And I laid the whole book out like that because I wanted to give the book a pace like a movie, so it's like a storyboard for a movie. So if you look at it, Alex, you can see some bits are busy and they're full of text and pictures, and other bits are calmer, and some bits are noisy, and some bits turn sideways, and some bits turn upside down, because the copy in this book isn't always done the conventional kind of way. So I constructed it to try and get that feeling of pace on the wall here. Now the book is roughly divided, well I say roughly, it's divided to 72 like sections or chapters, and each one, you know when you've arrived at each one, because it's done in the same format as some of these earlier ones I've shown you, in that there's a black page on the right with a quotation, and there's some kind of picture element on this side, and that's throughout the whole thing. It's also got different typefaces, different pages, different ways of using typography, and every single spread is a different design. It's actually 1,060 different designs in one book. It's divided, I think chapters is rather a grand word. There is 72 slices of life, or 72 slices of your brain. This book is for visually curious people who don't like to walk around with blinkers like all the rest of the world does.
For people who want to think outside the box.
Absolutely, yeah. It's about, as I said in the beginning, I think it's about what you weren't taught at school.
Is this a book for a reader of a particular age?
No, it's a book for bright people. And bright
people
come in all sorts of ages.
And who are the sources for your book?
It's everyone from ancient Greek philosophers, Renaissance princes, or pop stars. I mean, there's poets, men in the street, something I overheard in a pub, all sorts of people, all sorts of cultures, Japanese, Indonesian, American, Scotsman. No, I think it can be read at many different levels. Yes, it could be read by somebody who has to give an after-dinner speech, who's never done it before. Maybe he finds something in here which might help him through the evening, right? It could be read because you've been asked to design the parish magazine. You could read it because you're a very busy person and you actually don't read novels because you haven't got time, except when you're on holiday or whatever you may read. But this you might, as you so charmingly mentioned earlier, put it in the loo, because you can read little bits at a time. You don't have to commit yourself to, oh my God, I don't have an hour to read this book. I mean, you can have a look at it over coffee if you like. It's also very good for keeping the door open because it's quite heavy. So it's got many uses. So it's like a condensation of all sorts of things out of this bookshop in one book and rearranged in a way that I think no one's arranged it before. I think it's going to be difficult for a bookshop to know quite where to put it because it's...
Should it be in English literature with the quotations, or should it be visual arts with the arts?
I think it needs its own section.
The Alan Fletcher section?
No, it's the looking sideways section. The art and looking sideways section. That's what it should really be. Or how to get a PhD in living for $24.95 or whatever it is, which I think is not bad.